Okay. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Bitcoiners and Ethereum lovers. We are here back again with yet another Wolves of Alt Street live Ask Me Anything with Team DePo and most specifically Mr. TJ Dunham. Mr. Dunham, thank you so much for joining us. As always, I would like to begin the show, but with just a brief disclaimer and preface. To those of you who are joining us, as always, these shows do not specifically constitute an endorsement by the Wolves of Alt Street of anyone spending lots and lots of money on everything we talk about. Nothing you hear is to be construed as financial advice coming from myself, my team, or the team at DePo, and everything that you are going to be here is opinions. So please take from that what you will, do your own research always, and as always, we are here to provide you with the best possible information that we can provide. And with that said, Mr. Dunham, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely. Before we get started with the nitty-gritties, I usually ask if you would be interested in introducing yourself. Is there anything you would like the community to know about you personally before we dive into the nitty-gritties?
Yeah, for sure. So I actually got into crypto originally as a commodities and forex trader. I was more on the analytical side. And when I saw that the returns that crypto portfolios were generating, I thought it was insane. I got into crypto from that side of things, but when I actually got involved in tech is when I became really passionate about it. So now I'm here and I'm just able to share DePo with everyone, and super excited.
DePo seems like it's the perfect toolkit, at least like the way it's advertised on your all's website.
Absolutely.
DePo purports to be able to do pretty much anything as far as my portfolio goes. Will DePo also do my taxes?
We're developing a tool where you'll be able to pull all of your trades, and of course your profits and losses with the dates and timestamps for everything. So it will help a little bit with that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I asked that question mostly in jest because it's tax season, so a lot of people are
Yeah,
going to be
yeah.
wondering about that. But there's a bunch of crypto platforms that aggregate our portfolios and allow us to do taxes, so that's a common thing. All right, well let's dive right in. DePo is essentially, at least on the baseline, a multi-market aggregator, right, between the different trade markets on different exchanges rolled up into one platform. Can you tell me a little bit about how that works?
Yeah, for sure. We're not only a multi-market aggregator in the sense of exchanges, we also aggregate multiple DEX protocols across different blockchains, as well as NFT marketplaces. And the way we're currently doing this is, I believe we have over 155 APIs hooked up right now. So we're taking about 99% of the current market volume and assets available and linking them in. And that's essentially like the mechanism behind how we got started. And we're also in the process of turning these into revenue streams for our holders. And yeah, just replicating everything by meeting the same like liquidity pool parameters and eliminating fees, just making things as attractive as possible while maintaining that 99% of the market volume as a whole.
I noticed that when I was exploring DePo that it wants, for example, API keys from the four big centralized exchanges. Is that required to get DePo to execute trades on those exchanges? Can DePo use the API
Currently.
key to execute those trades?
Mhm. So currently that's required. So basically any professional level trader that wants to utilize our toolkit, our dashboard, our reporting capabilities they have to hook in their API keys from these exchanges. But we're also moving into a secondary option, which most people take advantage of, in which you'll be able to work with these exchanges, but without having to bridge over an API key. Essentially, kind of like how Orion does it.
Okay. Yeah, I ask because obviously a lot of us have security concerns, and the idea
Mhm.
of kind of bringing all of our trade data under one roof is a bit of a dangerous proposition for a lot of Bitcoiners and Ethereum folks. A lot of them will shun
Yeah.
know your customer for a reason, and your literature will say the DePo is audited, non-custodial, and decentralized. Is there anything you can tell us specifically about the security that DePo has to ensure the safety of its users' trading data?
Yeah, absolutely. So we already have 3 audits out. We have an audit from Cyber Unit, we have an audit from Safe Solidity, and we have another one coming out from BioSyn within a couple of days. And they all speak to the efficacy and they speak to the efficacy of our code practices and just how secure our platform is as a whole. And then as far as like KYC and stuff like that, it's actually easier to bring over an API key to our platform because I'm sure anyone here that's traded like quantitative algorithms via a bot using Google Cloud can speak to taking their API key and hooking it in and then not having to actually have a VPN on the computer they run it off of. So it even makes it easier in a sense that you're going to be able to access all your trades. It's completely secure, and you don't have to maintain that VPN in whatever location that you may or may not have selected. Wink, wink.
Okay, very interesting. Everything with DePo, at least on the sort of back end, seems like it's built on Ethereum since DePo's an ERC20. I'm an
Mhm.
Ethereum fan personally, but its prohibitively expensive gas fee scaling makes ERC20
Absolutely.
tokens very difficult for me personally to work with. Does DePo have any back end scaling for the ERC20 token gas problem?
So we're actually solving that via our swap right now. We average about 30 to 60% cheaper than Uniswap in 1 inch, just via the ERC20 chain. But then solving this more broadly and building that foundation for DeFi 3.0, we're developing a bridge and a wallet system that will have DePo on every chain, both EVM and non-EVM compatible, and it'll essentially allow users to wrap their tokens across these different chains and take advantage of all the different benefits from everything. That way, we're not just picking one thing to go with, and of course, you mentioned Ethereum having its scalability issues. We're prepared for that, and we've already been developing things for a while in the back end, which is going to come out soon. So
Okay. Yeah, that's it's definitely something that's riding on everyone's mind. And Ethereum's had this gas problem since I got started. I didn't recognize it at the
yeah,
time because the price was 300 or 400 bucks. So what's
wasn't
$5
as
at the
bad.
$300 price point? It ain't much. Well, jack
Yeah,
that up 10x, and suddenly that $5 becomes 50.
exactly, exactly. And then I mean the whole delays at the E 2.0, but let's not get into all
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
that.
All right, so the roadmap for DePo includes the following line items for Q3 2022. Quote, proprietary sex, DEX, and NFT marketplace released. Additional DePo utility, including tier status, fee reduction, and governance, and DePo Pro. I have a couple questions about those line items. Why does
Sure.
why does DePo feel that they need a specifically proprietary centralized exchange?
So when I use the term centralized exchange or SEX in that line item, well, basically what I'm getting at is we're gonna have a something very similar in regards to like the order depth, the volume, all the different assets, and being able to exchange things at that lower fee. But the way that it'll be hosted is going to be decentralized. And we are talking about various mechanisms to do that right now. which I won't necessarily get into uh, completely, but we do plan to have that fully decentralized in the back end. I just use that terminology to kind of describe what it's going to be like, because there's always going to be those people that want that same feel they get from Binance, like Binance futures. Um, but being able to do it through DePo and access all the order books across all the different exchanges, and then access our own exchange, it's going to be even better. I just can't speak to the direct mechanisms of that.
No worries. Yeah, we're used to folks who we talk to only being able to give us partial answers to these questions a lot of the time because software development it's still being designed, still in progress. There's only so much people can tell us.
Yeah, there's several things we're considering right now. I know one thing I was talking about is a potential L1, and then decentralizing the nodes that operate the exchange and the treasuries and all through a smart contract. But it's pretty complicated, and we're talking about different options right now. So
Oh yeah. Okay. So I do have some other questions. I didn't see these.
yep.
These are some of the standard ones that are definitely good. People are going to want to know this. DePo prides itself in the strong team of fully doxed professionals, which would explain what you guys have managed to achieve up to this point. Besides yourself and Mr. Ashley, is there anything you can tell us about who's working on DePo from a back-end developer point?
Yeah, for sure. So we got our CTO, Alex Hong. He has over 8 years of experience in the space. He's been CTO on multiple projects previously. He has robust code practices, and he's really brought a lot of experience. And I mean, in this space, it's honestly super rare to have like specific skill sets, and he's managed to bring us multivariable skill sets across the board that have really helped us to build out the platform. And then, I mean, Henry Saiputra is another one. We just brought him on about a month ago. He's serving a Scrum Master role, and he's also working on the AI machine learning side. Very technical, intelligent guy. He's overseen 100 Fortune 500 level developers. He's worked at Samsung, um, Nokia, I believe, in the past, and he brings over a wealth of knowledge, and he's published academic papers as well. And then just the rest of our developers, they've all been working in the space for at least 3 years. And I mean, currently we're sitting at like 10, 11, and we plan to onboard 30 to 40 in the next 4 to 6 months. So we're building that out pretty rapidly. But I definitely think we have the foundation and the skill set to do that and scale it well.
Yeah, especially with that mobile background. It's a lot of mobile phone activity on that team.
Yeah.
All right, Depot's definitely offering some of the standard passive income opportunities that a lot of us have come to expect from projects, liquidity farming, swap pooling, that kind of thing. Is there anything you guys can tell us about the plans for additional passive revenue for the community of DePo?
Yeah, for sure. So every single holder of DePo is going to get at least 50% of the revenue shared out directly to them, based off of how many tokens they have. So, for example, we're going to have swaps, bridges, arbitrage, sex fees, wallet fees, all kinds of like fees on our platform that will outcompete the market naturally. Um, but the way that we're doing it is 50% will go back to our treasury, and then 50% will be sent out directly to you. So let's say Nexus, you got 100,000 Depot tokens, and we're generating $1 billion in revenue a day.
Okay.
Well, you're going to get paid out per each Depot token. So that you're going to literally get $1 per token, and it's going to be hand delivered to you in USDC based off of what chain you're in, and
Fascinating.
based off of the dates that you select. And we're actually rolling out the alpha version of this. Should be next week, in which users can start doing this, claiming it directly in ETH, which I'm super excited about. And then just speaking to other opportunities, I'm currently developing a dual layer bonding system, which if you look at our roadmap, we're hitting like 8 months early, um, in which we're going to have our bond and our initial treasury based off of the DePo token, um, which will be backed directly with an index of Bitcoin, gold, and the US dollar. And then that will feed over into that secondary layer, which will be our DEX, which is super exciting as well. Um, but yeah, I mean, speaking to the revenue opportunities, you're gonna have that 50% revenue share. Your depot tokens will be tied to that index treasury to combat inflation and of course issues across the board. Um, with each different specific underlying asset in that index. And then, yeah, we're going to have runway APY guaranteed and all kinds of stuff built into that side of things. But what I'm excited about and what I think a lot of other people are excited about right now is the 50% revenue share. So.
Yeah, the 50% revenue share is definitely exciting. There's a lot of crypto projects and dexes that I'm learning about lately that seem to have unique and diverse ways of paying out the holders of the governance token that governs the dex.
Mhm.
Okay. So, DePo, you've mentioned a cross-chain bridge.
Mhm.
How is work progressing on the cross-chain bridge?
It's progressing very well. So this week we're getting bonds into staging. We should be able to have that out soon. And then as far as the bridge, that should be in staging next week. So we're looking within 2 weeks for both bonds and bridge delivery. And that bridge delivery will come with, BSC, Polygon, and then we're going to be rapidly expanding that out as the weeks continue into other chains and L2 solutions.
Okay, because obviously there's lots of different blockchains that are going to want to bridge to each other. I'm assuming
Mhm.
that your primary focus is going to be Binance to Ethereum.
Um, well, currently, so our philosophy is we do want to target what the market is using for the most part right now. But in the future, we definitely plan to hit all those other blockchains, and kind of unite and bridge it a way that's never really been seen before. Um,
Okay.
yeah, through like a cluster method, which is something I'm really excited to talk about.
Well, bridges as well can be, in their own way, prohibitively expensive on gas fees, almost
Yep.
always due to, again, Ethereum.
Yep.
Okay.
So, and
Th-
what you find actually too is a lot of these protocols on Ethereum, they have hella expensive like protocol fees themselves just so they cut a profit on top of the already ridiculous gas fees. So the cool thing with us is that we're taking, what's best in the market currently, and we're adding a lot to it and taking a lot of the unnecessary parts away. And for example, with our swap, we route faster and it's cheaper. And you're going to see that with our bridge as well. And you'll be able to bridge multiple accounts to multiple accounts. It won't be single. It'll be multi-blockchain, multiple account over, and like we're bringing a whole new level of utility and interoperability to it. So
okay. I kind of want to come back to those Q3 line items for a moment that I was mentioning.
yeah.
The fee reduction, the governance, tier status, Depot Pro, the releases of the Sex Dex and NFT marketplace. Those features are features that a lot of sexes and dexes have had for some time. They're good features. I'm not trying to put you down for including them, but what I'm hearing is that you're
Mm.
going to have them down the road and you don't have them right now. I guess what I'm wondering overall is, as someone who uses the platform Sex Nexo to get interest as well as a tax-friendly fiat off-ramp, it gives me that tool that I need, along with the steady interest gains and swap cashback incentives, to make its use more palatable to me. What
Mhm.
what I guess hooks is the sex and dex for DePo going to have to incentivize a user like me to switch my platform?
Well, and here's the cool thing with that. So we don't necessarily have to get you to switch your platform. If you're in the space and you're actively trading and you're familiar with all these different asset classes, you're going to be on a lot of platforms, like specifically DEX protocols, maybe various chains, and DePo competes by not competing necessarily. So we're gonna have our dashboard on our platform, and in this dashboard, you're gonna be able to hook up all of your sexes. You're gonna be able to hook up all of your DEX protocols across various chains. You're gonna be able to hook up all your NFT marketplaces. And then from there, you'll be able to edit and open positions. You'll be able to track things and execute anything across the broader crypto market within 3 clicks. And through the tools on our platform, you're also going to be able to, whenever you're searching for a trade or a specific asset, you'll be able to see the fee transparency, because we're going to list out exactly how much it will cost you, and it'll rank the best sexes for that specific trade. It'll rank the best dexes, and the best NFT marketplaces, because we're already aggregating all this data. Um, but then when it really comes down to it, since we're able to aggregate all of this and we have such a high level of liquidity coming in and out, uh, at least through our projection models, we're able to, because what we've already done with swaps, for example, we've already been able to make it 30 to 60% cheaper on average. Meeting the sex, for example, we're going to be able to meet that lowest price. And since we already have all this data aggregated, we'll just display ours on top with that fee cut in half. So it'll still be profitable for us, but ultimately it makes it even more profitable for the people using the platform. And then we can even get into the by which mechanisms we're going to do that. But essentially, we're not here to necessarily make you switch your platform. We're here to have you bring your platforms onto DePo, or just have you use the same platforms, but on DePo, and then have access to that trading suite and the ability to do anything in the entire market within 3 clicks. And yeah, I mean,
Hey, that's powerful. That's appealing. There's a lot of appeal there, especially in the mission of DePo to increase adoption and use overall. Okay.
and the cool thing is, I mean, with this space being open source, and everything rapidly evolving, because we aggregate everything, we're able to take unique features that might make a specific protocol stand out, bring it into our platform, and then add more to it, because it's going to naturally fit in like a puzzle piece with all the other features, and those benefits will compound. So like our bridging mechanism, since we're building it on top of a chain agnostic heterogeneous wallet system, um, users will be able to pick like 5, 6, 7 different accounts across various blockchains and bridge them all at once. And we'll even have a routing system to where, let's say you have your SEX and you have an AVAX wallet, and you want to bring $20,000-$30,000 over into a DEX protocol. You'll be able to just hit a button and it'll naturally pick a smart route for you, between the centralized and the decentralized side of things. Essentially taking what is now known as a bridge and bringing it to that next level.
Cool.
And there's a, yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and kick it to the community questions now. That pretty much covers what I wanted to ask right off my docket. Starting with, of course, my man Sergeant 13 Bravo. Question in 2 parts. You guys found the Wolves of Wall Street. As far as this community goes, what is the single thing that every person listening can do here to help DePo?
I'd say the single thing is just spread the word, become more educated about what our platform does. Because everyone here, it seems like they're an educated trader. They know what they're doing, and they're passionate about the space. And I think DePo provides all the tools you guys need. So yeah, I just say spread the word. Not financial advice, but get a little bit of DePo.
Oh, yeah.
And
With
yeah,
that in mind, if the wolves do that, how beneficial is it to them as investors in DePo to spread the word?
very beneficial. You're gonna have that revenue sharing, and I didn't even mention this earlier. You're gonna have the multi-tier referral system revenue. So for, let's say, the Wolves of Alt Street have an official link with DePo, every single one of your traders that uses that link, they're gonna be paid, but then you're gonna get 5% of all the revenue they ever generate on the platform, and that goes down. So you'll get 2.5% of everyone they refer, and all the way down to 0.25. So it's going to benefit you guys a lot.
So there's basically it's referral links and a chain of referrals, etc., etc.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Mac G asks, can you list 3 killer features of DePo that bring it ahead of the competition? And what competitive advantages are you personally feeling the most confident about?
Yes. Okay. So I'd say 3 killer features is that we're aggregating 99% of all CFI and DeFi market volume. We're able to access all blockchains and all platforms within our UI within 3 clicks, and then we're able to beat fees out, or beat everyone's fees out, because we already aggregate everything. And yeah, what was the last part of that?
Oh, what competitive advantages do you feel the most confident about that DePo's bringing forward?
Okay, yeah, those three,
Okay.
definitely.
All right, my man Fishtivity asks, 2-part question: biggest regrets or problems that the team has had when creating DePo? How did you overcome them? And is there anything that you guys wish you had done differently?
Hmm. I wouldn't necessarily say regrets, but some of the issues we had along the way is we're growing at such a rapid pace. We have to be extremely agile and expand our skill set and our team and advisors along with that. Um, that would be one of the things I wish I was a little bit more prepared for, was just how fast I'd be learning, and how fast I'd have to expand my mindset to be able to keep up with our growth.
Okay. Gratz asks, whoop, wait, where did it go? There he is. Is there a project or coin that is doing something insane that you definitely want to aggregate to the DePo platform?
Um, I mean, not
But
specifically. I mean, there's like 50 right now.
yeah, I was gonna say there's probably a lot that you guys are like, oh, can we include that? Oh, let's get that too.
Yeah. um,
Anything? I guess put another way, is there any of those 50 or so projects that stands out to you in particular as like, yes, we have to get that on DePo?
um, definitely. I'd say they built a
Ohm.
great foundation. Hmm. They built a great foundation, and for the bonding system, and we're getting them on here soon, and I'm just really thankful for that. We're building on top of that a ton.
Okay. Element with a quote from the DePo website. Quote, instead of competing with exchanges and swapping pools, we, DePo, unite their order books into one easy-to-use terminal, giving you access to the entire crypto market in one place. No account? No problem. Trade across all major exchanges without the need to ever open an account again. End quote from the DePo website. What exchanges are you guys including currently? And are you apt to continue expanding on this, adding even more exchanges in the future?
Yeah, so currently we have Binance, FTX, Wobi, and KuCoin, spot and futures. We plan to go out to 25 exchanges, the top 25 in the future, for users that bring their API keys on. But then the secondary option I mentioned earlier will have those top 25 built in as well. So you won't have to open up a centralized exchange account when you get on our platform. you're going to be able to access the order books anyways.
Okay. Nivozo asks, the first thing I look at before investing in a project is use cases. What uses does DePo have that would encourage investors to long-term hodl the tokens even when the price is down?
I'd say the use is that we're essentially creating the foundation for DeFi 3.0. There's already tons of utility in this space, but since we're taking all that utility, building it into one spot, and then compounding it on top of one another, you're always going to have a platform that people want to use. But then not only that, you're always going to have a token that people want to hold. Because people will inherently be using the platform for its utility, you're going to users will be getting 50% of that revenue. And since that revenue will be cycling back into that treasury constantly, the DePo price floor that's backed by that index of Bitcoin, gold, and US dollar will always continue to expand. And if we are in a long-term bear market, for example, in the future, then that will retract, but it will retract in set arrangements because we're going to have runway APY for all of our users. So to put it short, yes, there's always going to be a reason for people to want to hold DePo.
Okay. Luca SP asks, do you have estimated data on how many people are interested in DePo? Or, and I guess put another way, any estimates of data you can share on people who are actually interested in DePo?
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, our wallets have been going up like crazy. We were at 1,000 wallets at about 30 days ago, and now we're about to hit 4,000. We're over 10,000 users now, and there's 4 users on DePo like every single minute, and I could even pull that
Wow.
up. But we've been growing like insane, and don't quote me on that last piece there, but it's pretty freaking close to that. People are starting to become aware of DePo. There's a lot of influencers picking us up organically, and they love it. They absolutely love it. So.
Okay. Wolf MVP asks, you have mentioned a 50% revenue share to holders. Wouldn't that in turn burn the supply and limit the number of people who would be interested in investing in DePo? And if that did happen, would you choose an alternative currency to reward the holders in the future?
No, it won't burn the supply because the revenue share will be directly in a stable coin that users can instantly use to reinvest in other opportunities. Um, so whenever you sign up, you're gonna have your DePo in whichever like currency or whichever blockchain your DePo is wrapped in. It'll be paid out per that blockchain in USDC hand delivered to your account.
Okay. MacG back again asks, how do you see the DeFi universe or the DeFi world of cryptocurrency in 5 or 10 years?
I see entire platforms representing the individual more. Because right now, what we see in DeFi is it's like a pulsing vision of the future of decentralization and of essentially traditional finance and all the benefits of that and all the privilege that has come out of that for the proponents of it at a high level. I see all those benefits flowing down into DeFi, and I see millions more people around the world being able to explore financial opportunities that they would have never had before. I see platforms just like DePo aggregating, different features in the space, building out new and exciting protocols that serve people more. I see blockchains being more heterogeneous and platforms being more chain agnostic in general. In 5-10 years from now, I see DePo at the top of the pack.
Yeah. Okay. Go to Whalebed asks, have you created your own SOR API or are you using the Shrimpy API?
Now that would be a question for my tech guy.
That's okay if you
Probably
don't have
both.
the answer. It's okay. We usually will hope to get like the marketing guy and the tech guy if we can, because a lot of the
Uh,
community is technically inclined, so they have those questions that will come up.
for sure, and I can answer those to a certain extent, just not
Oh
the
yeah, and if you
individual.
can get
Yeah,
back to us too, obviously on anything more technical, we appreciate that.
perfect. Throwing it in my server right now.
All right. Moving on, 10th Hokage asks, if I provide my API key from, say, Binance, what information does DePo have access to? And are my funds safer?
Your funds are safe. Essentially, Binance will warn you and tell you exactly what people will be able to access with the API key. That's essentially everything we're gonna access. So the ability to trade just like using Binance, except now you're going to be able to access these other order books, and your funds are going to be more liquid in between accounts using our platform.
Okay. Leviant asks, 6 important factors for a platform: transparency, security, fairness, privacy, scalability, and wealth. How does DePo handle all of these issues? And in the future, what developments do you expect will be most appealing to a larger institution?
Sure. So that's actually super funny. We hit pretty much all of those with our 4 core pillars: accessibility, prosperity, variability, and scalability. With our scalability, we're building that foundation that will be able to expand across every chain. And not only that, but bring everything across from every chain and compile it into one space that our users are going to be able to access within 3 clicks. So every single portfolio that's out there, 99% of all of your guys' portfolios within the next 2 months, you're going to be able to access and move assets pretty much instantly within 3 clicks within our dashboard. Um,
Cool.
and of course, we're just going to continue to build on top of there. So that covers scalability. Variability, we cover 99% of CeFi and DeFi market volume. We're chain agnostic, and we cover over 150 APIs on our swap currently. We have more width, breadth, and depth than 1 inch and Uniswap combined, and we outcompete them 30 to 60% on average when it comes to our fees.
That's
We have full
impressive.
aggregation. Appreciate it. Thank you. We
Yeah.
have full aggregation across all major blockchain financial applications. And then when it comes to prosperity, we have that multi-tier referral system. So larger partners that want to join us, or even people that want to bring their families into it, they have more incentive. You're going to get paid. You're going to have a passive revenue stream coming to you. There's that over 50% revenue share just from holding DePo. Literally holding it in your wallet. It's going to be hand wrapped for you and sent to you. Merry Christmas every day.
Awesome.
um, you're gonna have all the different options for staking and all these unique features that make specific protocols stick out. They're gonna be within DePo, and they're gonna compound on top of each other. So, bonds, farms, auto compounding vaults, NFT staking, and then you're gonna have entire market arbitrage as well. We're aggregating all this data. We're gonna have opportunities every day for users to have a one-click arbitrage to where we auto read the accounts you have hooked up, and we essentially just display a button and a little pathway, and it can show you exactly how much money you can make with the slider bar. You click, you pay us the arbitrage fee, and boom, you've just arbitraged between the market in 1 click. We're already doing that with our data in the back end. And then accessibility. DePo is going to be accessible to everybody. As I mentioned, there's plans in the future to move towards a DAO and decentralize it truly, so there isn't that point of failure at the team. Um, there's going to be gamified interactive UI. We're going to have Unreal Engine 5 overlay powered by AI and machine learning to help bring new users onto the platform. There'll be different pathways through that:
Whoa.
light, intermediate, pro. Yep. And it's going to be customized per the user. It'll learn your habits. It'll be able to present and prompt you, hopefully saving you over 100 clicks a day. on average, and we're going to be able to track all that data. Of course, if you hit that button that you want to use the AI, and customize experiences just moving forwards in an agile manner to hit our users better. Then there's going to be built-in VPN support, so a dead switch built into the platform itself. So you don't have to be reliant on like NordVPN, for example. Then there's the 3 clicks, able to access your whole portfolio from 3 clicks. And yeah, 1-click bridge. There's a lot.
There's a lot.
For sure. Yeah.
I'm sort of shocked, and I'm kind of unable to move past the roadblock that is one-click arbitrage. We have a lot of users who are very interested in trading and analysis and technical analysis and doing the flipping thing. So the ability for a learning algorithm to perform the swapping across 40 plus dexes for the most efficient option in arbitrage, that's really fascinating. Is there anything else you can articulate on that before I move on? Because that's really interesting to me.
For sure. So that arbitrage won't just extend to dexes alone. It can extend across, sexes and dexes. And of course, the different blockchains utilizing our routing and our bridge in the back end. And I kind of mentioned this earlier, like, we take what is so simple now, like a bridge, and then we build it and we optimize it. And with this arbitrage, you're gonna have an ability to utilize flash loans. And then, building on top of that, I'd even mention the trade station, in which you might not even have to arbitrage or seek those opportunities on the platform. You'll just be able to hook into the top traders, which will be on a scoreboard to gamify it, and their trades will be audited. And you'll just be able to automatically copy their trades across the whole platform.
Wow.
So, yeah.
There's a lot of fear, though. I just add, there's a lot of fear in the copy trading space, mostly because some of these bots that do that, they're totally malicious. They're designed to make you late and slow and leave you holding a bag.
Yep. So we're going to have a KYC process for all the traders that want to be on our platform. You're going to have to submit your past 1,000 or 100 trades. There's going to be a multivariate auditing process. But essentially, we'd want a lot of our traders to be KYC'd either through identity or through, the efficacy of their trading system, looking at the profitability and all of that. And then only then, after they've been through that process, are people going to be able to copy their trades. And of course, that's going to cover past our arbitrage, because I'm sure there'll be a certain technical point to when the evolution of our arbitrage system will be like, okay, now it's going to take 6 months to be able to do this between all the routes. It won't really cover the human professional element of it. And then that's when we go from that 1-click arbitrage, providing a ton of utility, to that next level, in which, let's say your users or your guys in your group, let's say there's one specific trader in your group that's really amazing at arbitrage and no AI in the world could replicate what they do. That guy will be able to have his own passive revenue system set up through DePo, through being audited through us, and people will be able to copy his trades.
Wow. That's fascinating. Okay. USMB2 back again asks, where is DePo listed at the moment, and what measures are you taking to list it on big exchanges?
For sure. So we're listed on Uniswap, and then I believe it's Bilaxy and BKEX that listed us without our knowledge.
That's funny.
And BKEX is, yeah, I think BKEX is ranked like 69th right now or something dank like that. I don't know. But as far as what we're doing to get listed elsewhere, we're in talks with 2 top 10 exchanges. One of them actually, I think, being in the top 3 right now. And we have our conversations moving forwards this Friday.
Oh, cool.
With them. So we'll be meeting with them, and we're really excited for that. Hopefully we'll get it listed here within a week.
Okay. Master Halo 40 asks, do you have plans to make future contributions with projects that might attract more people? And if yes, what things are you thinking about implementing for DePo's internal wallets and community?
Is he referencing? Could you repeat just that beginning clause again? I think
Sure,
he's
sure.
referencing Launchpad.
Do you have plans to make future collaborations? Excuse me. Do you have plans to make future
Okay.
collaborations with projects for attracting more people? And if yes, what
hmm
things do you think you will implement for the wallet and DePo community?
For sure, for sure. And okay, so those are two really different pathways. I was going to start talking
Yeah,
about a Launchpad,
yeah.
and yeah.
Go for it.
Anyways, as far as collaborations, yes, I met with the Scrum Master today and our CTO, and we're putting in a plan to essentially have a pipeline where we'll be adding a new SEX, a new DEX, and a new NFT marketplace. And the DEX and the NFT marketplace would be across multiple blockchains every single week. And then eventually, of course, when we get big enough, we're already having projects that reach out to us. We'll collaborate directly with those projects and have teams sent out into their communities telling them how they can benefit from our platform while still, shilling their platform and being able to operate on there.
Interesting. All right. Blur Rev asks, would the mobile version of DePo be a standalone app? Or would it be a browser add-on like the PC version? And how would that work as far as displaying relevant data from the different exchanges?
For sure. So we actually already have mobile compatibility on our website, and we're building out that app for the App Store and for Android, in which essentially everything will be mobile optimized, and a lot of the pathways between the platform on the app will be through swipes and through like double taps, and it will be slightly different. Um, but it's not going to take away from that feel that you have on the desktop. And at the same time, that's going to open us up to 5 to 10 times more users when you look at specific countries and well distributions. But as far as the extension, we actually do have a Chrome extension that the backend is already finished, to where you'll be able to access our swap, our bridge, our dashboard, and all of your liquidity. Um, Across everything you have hooked in DePo just from that extension itself. So it's going to be like MetaMask on steroids, paying our users for all the fees, which will be way cheaper than anything else out there right now, making it way more accessible.
That's definitely the way you spread adoption, boss man.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
M. Rofiz asks, is DePo going to join with BSC2 or is it only going to work with Ethereum? I think what they're asking is about the token specifically. So are you guys going to
Yes.
create a Binance version of the ERC20 DePo coin?
Yeah, so there's going to be a BSC, a Polygon version, an AVAX version, Cosmos, a Helios, a Cardano, a Solana, a whatever you name it version of DePo on these other chains, and it's not going to interfere with our tokenomics. It'll essentially just be a pegged version, and like I mentioned earlier, depending on which version your DePo is in, is the currency that we'll be sending. It's a USD wrapped version that we'll be sending to you. So let's say that you have your depot wrapped in BSC, you'll be sent USDC on that chain. It'll be hand wrapped and delivered in that jailbreak.
Interesting. Okay. Wolf MVP asks, what chain are you working on to bridge DePo in the future? And do you think that the bridged version of DePo will have the same success as the original one? That's an interesting question.
Yeah, for sure. So um sorry about that.
You're good.
We plan to bridge on every chain, and of course we're going to be targeting the ones that users are using the most currently. But kind of our philosophy with that is each chain offers its own things that make it attractive. Different levels of transactions per second, different levels of decentralization, different consensus algorithms. We're talking proof of work, proof of stake, Shapley value, stuff like that. Our idea with DePo is to launch the token on every chain without interfering with the tokenomics. So it's going to be pegged on every chain. We're not raising money or anything like that. But that will open it up essentially to where you'll be able to access our whole suite of products across every chain, making it truly chain agnostic. So yeah, I mean, I think it will be as successful, to answer the second part of your question, but not in the sense that we're launching it on another chain, but it'll just make the whole platform more successful overall to be on every single chain.
Just to spread that adoption as wide as possible.
Absolutely.
Okay. USMB2 is back. They ask, are you going to target developing nations or developed nations first? As at the moment, South Asian countries such as Pakistan and India are big markets of crypto and NFTs, where the developed world is slightly less interested in these things.
Absolutely, we are. And one of the strategies for that will be having those mobile apps out. I mean, there's a TV show called The Chosen. It's about the life of Jesus Christ spoken through his disciples. And it was never ran on air through, a bunch of like HBO or, stars. But the way they were able to hit so many users and people that were watching the show was delivering it through a free mobile app and then sort of rewarding that experience. And we're kind of using that philosophy with DePo. So I mentioned the AI and machine learning and the Unreal Engine built on top of the platform. We're gonna have that app that's, you're gonna be able to access it on Android. You're gonna be able to access it on the Apple Store. But then when you first sign in, and keep in mind, a lot of these people in these developing countries, they don't have desktops, which is why we're really focused on getting these apps out. Not only will we have these apps out for these users, but they will be getting paid in crypto to finish our tutorials and to use our platform. So we're going to gamify the process. There'll be like treasure packs with free NFTs from partners we work with, or free crypto from partners that we work with, and it'll be like almost like a Fortnite in-game store. You'll be able to have skins for the platform. There'll be quests in which you like quest over to the sex page and hit a one-click arbitrage and make money, and it's all gamified. And those are some of the things we're planning to help with that mass adoption and to bring a different feel to it in general, not a super techie numbers feel for the people that are on the light side, but something that's extremely palatable for people just getting into crypto, as well as that technical side if you choose that pathway in the future when using our platform.
We've mentioned gamification a couple times. I guess I have to ask, as a gamer myself, DePo isn't going to have microtransactions, is it?
Yes, it will. So
really?
Well, when you say microtransactions, can you elaborate a little bit more?
Yes. In the video game world, I refer exclusively to any. You've said treasure boxes, right? That's obviously the NFT kind of magic card shtick of, oh, I get a pack and I don't know what's inside. There's some gambling. Yeah. There's a little bit of a gambler's appeal to that. But I find as a video gamer, much of the microtransactive gambling style monetization that a lot of these companies do, personally, I find it predatory. So that's why I ask, because I find that a lot of these are just a FOMO-based incentive to get you to spend a lot of money very quickly to try to get one or two things that you only have a snowball's chance in hell of actually getting from the packages.
For sure, and I don't plan to use like those predatory methods at all. The idea is that since we have a pipeline where we're going to be adding these projects weekly, eventually we're going to come to partnership agreements with specific projects, and they'll have small pools or a small collection of NFTs, which can be dispersed through that tutorial mechanism. So let's say a new user signs on, essentially it'll be tasks like getting used to the whole platform will be presented to them. That interactive UI will talk to them because it'll be an Unreal Engine 5 overlay powered by AI. It'll talk to them. And then it will like point and, cheer them on or whatever. And then whenever they get every task done, that's when there would be that treasure pack or whatever. But it wouldn't be like a treasure pack for you have to spend X amount of money. Did you ever play Diablo 3 back in the day?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we want to have like an auction house like that, but multi-chain and multi-platform, but obviously not with the same issues. So part of the game, yeah, like you know all about that. Let's not
I
even get
do.
into
I
that.
do. Paying 99 cents in real money for a digital asset that I actually can't exchange. I can't cash out the
Yeah,
money. See, that's the problem I had with
exactly.
Diablo 3 was that, oh yeah, you're going to let me sell my crap for real money, but you're not going to give me the opportunity to cash out, and you're just going to force me to keep it all within the Blizzard
Exactly.
API platform.
There's none of that flow, and part of the gamification is yes, you'll be rewarded from just becoming knowledgeable about the platform. You'll have daily logins where you're going to be rewarded for essentially doing trades that you would have already done anyways. And anyways, most of the microtransactions will be based on first getting on the platform, learning the platform, but then secondary after that, like cosmetics.
Gotcha.
So, different color themes, different outfits for your AI avatar, stuff like that.
Okay. I missed a question, but I really want to ask it. eMcSteez asks, I noticed Shiba Swap as part of your ecosystem. Is that an indicator that DePo has faith in the Shiba Swap project, or is that just a logo you're using to get people to use DePo?
So that's one of the APIs we have. Like I mentioned, there's a ton of them, and we're accessing, easily over 200 protocols. We just put that on there because, of course, even though I'm not going to speak too badly about, dog coins and stuff, there's people that like them for whatever reason.
Yes, there are. We've
Um,
gotten plenty in this
yeah.
community. I am not one of them, but I'm not putting those people down.
Yeah, no, and I think if you're trading it not based off of the utility of the token, but based off of how other people feel about it, that's smart. But what happens is people just ape into it and then they expect it to. Anyways, like you gotta trade it like a professional, but
Yeah, so you're
you want
you're
to
a
be.
fan of the you're a fan of playing the game of doing the actual speculation.
Yeah, to a certain extent, and if there's a lot of people bringing volume into the crypto market, getting in on these coins, I say, why not let them do it through DePo and save money?
Yeah, I can't argue with saving money, that's for sure. Okay. Fur Dave UA asks, does Depot use any criteria for integrating new centralized exchanges into the platform? And if so, can you name some of the points to keep in mind when you guys add new centralized exchanges?
Essentially, the criteria right now is just how much volume they have, how many assets they cover, the depth of their order books, and most importantly, their ranking. So, if you want to get a good baseline of what we're integrating for the next 25 or the next 20 exchanges, look at Coin Market Cap and look at their top 25.
Okay. Fur Dave also asks, did you find any of the exchanges harder to integrate than others in terms of features that exchange uses?
I'd say FTX just because of their derivatives futures or their derivatives features. We haven't quite hit the level of integration I want to with them. Um, but yeah, we will in the future, and that'll be a whole expansion into Depot Pro and stuff that you see in Q3.
Okay. All right, we're about to hit the hour mark, but we still have a lot of really good questions. Would you be interested in going into overtime to share some
Yeah,
more?
no worries. I love this community. So,
Awesome. We appreciate it very much, boss. Wolf MVP is back. They ask, how will DePo compete with other tokens in terms of utility and value in the NFT marketplace?
for sure. So with DePo, with the revenue sharing, you're not only getting revenue sharing from swaps, from sex fees, from wallet fees, from the arbitrage from bridge, but you're also getting fees from the NFT marketplace side of things. And there will be an NFT oracle, and there'll be arbitrage opportunities built into that, which there'll be fees attached to as well. Um, so you're going to have that utility from all those different aspects of crypto built into one place just for holding DePo. Um, but as far as the NFT side, you're we're gonna. I mean, right now within like the next 2 weeks, we're talking about OpenSea, Rarible, Nifty, Looks Rare, all these top NFT marketplaces, and then the variable chains that they're on, all being aggregated into one space. Um, with our data feeds and the ability to search the market and essentially see all of that. And with that, there's going to be that fee revenue that comes in. So that's how we're going to compete with other tokens. We're not necessarily competing. We're just aggregating the best features and all the platforms across the market, and then paying you guys to hold the token, which we'll build up with the NFT side of things when that comes to fruition.
Okay. On that same vibe, Wax Atomic, big NFT marketplace. We got a lot of folks who are fans of Wax. Any plans to integrate Wax?
Wax. Actually, send that right over to me. I can put that on the list.
Oh, okay. Yeah, any of you Wax fans, feel free to drop that link in chat. And our
And then if
Depot.
there's, yeah, or sorry, not to interrupt you, Nexus, but if there's specific features that you guys love about it, list that as well.
Okay. USMB2 is back. They ask, is Depot completely decentralized? And if so, how does Depot plan to address the issues that come with decentralization?
So no, currently we aren't completely decentralized. If you look at our tokenomics, obviously with us having to build a platform to a certain extent to get all the features out, we're not able to have it in that level of decentralization. um, to where it would truly fully be decentralized. But there is plans to do that in the future through a DAO and through spreading the nodes that host DePo out throughout the world, so the platform is impossible to take down. Um, but as far as like the issues with decentralization, we think we kind of sidestep that by flipping it around instead of launching as a DAO and trying to get all these features out by everyone voting on it and it taking forever and maybe not even getting all of them out. We're getting all the features out first and then we're moving towards decentralization.
Okay. Blur Rev is back. They ask on sort of the similar vibe. Do you find yourselves as a team? Oh, hold on. Do you find yourselves as a team facing any regulatory pushback from traditional financial institutions or governments from around the world? How do you plan on addressing any kind of inquiries from regulators or banks in different countries if they were for, to instance, block or restrict payment methods or bank accounts from interacting with Depot?
For sure. So there's already the DEX and the NFT side of things, and then as far as the sexes, you still have to interact with the sexes like fiat on ramp and off ramp policies to move your money. But when we come towards our own sex and when we come towards decentralizing the platform through those nodes that I mentioned, that's when we're really going to be able to sidestep that regulatory authority. Um, because I mean, with Binance and even KuCoin, you can see that they've really pandered down to that, and that's definitely something we don't want to do. So Currently, I'd say we're completely safe in that aspect. We operate just like a DEX, and then everything on the SEX side, you still have to go through those guys. But then in the future, that SEX will be ran like a DEX. It'll just be similar as far as the features and the level of ability that you have to manipulate trades and the market and the order depth and volume and all of that. But as far as the platform itself, once we do get to that level, um, that's at that point we would have already been decentralizing for a while by spreading it out amongst the servers.
Okay. Trebuz asks, in decentralization, we all know that speed is needed, as is the current problem faced by the expensive Ethereum gas fees and the slowing of the transaction process. I believe we've already addressed this, but they ask, what are your plans to deal with this problem on DePo? We might get some repeats because we have a lot more people in now.
Hey, no worries. So the ways we're addressing that, we're not only on one chain. There's, of course, multiple chains I mentioned, in which you're going to be able to sidestep a lot of the issues with the Ethereum chain. Um, but with what we're doing right now, 30 to 60% cheaper than Uniswap and 1inch. The transaction time is even a little bit faster. I'd say just use DePo for your swaps.
Okay. Praisin, my man, asks, are there any future plans that you guys can give us a sneak peek of that you haven't already shared?
Um, Man. Well, it's actually really funny that you asked that. So our Twitter yesterday, so we're hitting our Chrome extension like 3 to 4 months early. And I could have dropped that as some alpha in here. I didn't even think about that. But besides that,
Well, hey,
um,
if you want, there is still time.
yeah.
There is still time. Not saying you have to, brother. Not saying you have to.
Tell you what, let's schedule another AMA, and I will have a whole folder of alpha that I can release exclusively to you guys.
Ooh, exciting! Hey, we like to hear. We like to hear that. Exclusive perks. We don't get those all the time. Sign me up.
Yes, sir.
All right. USMB2 is back. They ask, don't you think there could be non-organic or robot users in the 10,000 person network you have as you've described it so far? I believe this question refers to, in particular, a problem we have in the crypto Discord space where users with alternative accounts will find ways to soak money that could be going to regular folks or real people instead of just all one guy running a botnet.
I mean, what specifically is he talking about in the sense that where would they be able to benefit from having those bots?
Well, just to give you an idea, right? You've mentioned that the DePo system has kind of an auto, almost airdrop style stable payout that happens.
Oh, yeah, okay.
We have in the crypto space in Discord a large number of users who run what I can only describe as sock puppet networks of fake users that mass collect airdrops in order to redistribute the money to themselves.
So, the way we're combating that is we don't really have to at all, because unless they have that bot holding DePo, then it's not going to do anything. You have to physically be holding DePo in that wallet, and we will trace it through the smart contract. So you can't just, run it through different wallets and hope that you'll get paid twice. We have specific dates on which we pay you out according to that wallet, according to how much DePo you have, and that's it. So even if they do have bots, I mean, if they have bots that hold DePo, then yeah, we'll pay the bots, but they just have to hold DePo. It is, you literally get sent out per how much DePo you have and in what chain you're holding it in. So,
okay. Demian asks, will you have available trading bots? I believe we've mentioned that you are going to have some AI learning to help the traders out. Is there anything else you want to add to that idea?
Yeah, for sure. So with our trade station, I mentioned arbitrage. Of course, that only extends to the robotic element of it. There's a certain human element in trading where specific traders have come out to the top of the pack and they're just amazing. You will be able to copy those guys, but not only them through our copy trading system, but algorithms as well. So yes, you will be able to copy bots. The trades will just have to be audited, and the owner of the bot KYC'd, and then you'll be able to access their profitability directly. Our platform won't take anything out of that, and then the person that put the bot up themselves, they're going to get paid a certain percentage of everyone's profits underneath. So both parties will come away with money.
Okay. Fair Dave is back. They ask, a not so old problem of crypto aggregation platforms is fake exchange volume. How does DePo plan to manage this problem on their platform?
Um, I mean, if it's an exchange side issue, then we can't necessarily combat that. We just have to aggregate the top 25 exchanges to open up the gates to all the people on those exchanges. But if it's exchange side, the way that that will sort of filter out on our platform is just through the level of transparency we have. So if you're on our platform, you have these different sexes hooked up, um, or you just want to search the market, it's naturally going to present you with the cheapest price, even the hidden fees that are on a lot of these exchanges.
Yeah, I guess another way to put this platform is,
And
or
then
another
from
way
there, you
to,
don't even have to worry about it.
oh yeah, I was just going to say another way to put this question would probably be to ask how DePo plans to respond should they find that one of these top 25 exchanges is supplying them bullshit information.
Yeah, I mean, the way we could respond with that is, of course, there'd be, um, depending on the level of the incident and how many people it affected, we'd respond pretty swiftly. Just being able to cut them off, because at that point, no one would want to mess with us because we're already aggregating 99% of the volume, and without access to Depot, you're going to be missing out on a lot of that, and you're not going to be able to have any money coming in at all. So
Okay. Next question. Where was I? There's so many good ones. M. Rafiz is back. They ask, what is Depot's solution if the market is crashing, I believe is what they meant to say, and how would Depot handle that? Because big whales or investors might want to think again if they're wanting to invest their money into crypto again.
sure. And the way we handle that is Depot as a platform. The value of the Depot token isn't just based off of how people feel about it. It's based off of what we do for people and the utility we provide in being able to access the entire market within 3 clicks, and then compounding all those benefits from each sector of the market on top of each other. It makes us comparable to no one. And then as far as like token price dropping in a bear market, one, we offer the revenue sharing. So people will always have a reason to use our platform. Um, and you're going to be getting paid revenue out of that. So you wouldn't want it to dump it because your revenue is going to be getting paid in USDC, not in Depot, not in something that's very susceptible to the market dropping. And then plus that, we also have the revenue cycling into our treasury, and we have our bond system. So Depot will be tied to that index of bonds that will ensure price floors for each consecutive year and consecutive rebase in the system. So an example of this is, um, let's say 3 or 4 years from now, Russia and China get in a war, and the world economy is facing a global depression. We'll have a treasury reserve backing the Depot token to a certain runway APY, which means for that whole year, we'll be able to guarantee that you make this much APY regardless of what the market does. And we'll also have our price floor hooked into that. So Depot will be backed to $10, for example, in that price floor, along with that runaway APY. And then the next year, we have the price floor might go down, the runaway APY might go down, but these steps and this whole system will be completely transparent to everyone that invests in DePo, and they'll be able to see exactly how, even through these markets, we're still providing utility, we're still providing revenue sharing, and we're still providing hard pegging or backing.
Okay. Blur Rev, is DePo front runner resistant? And if so, how does the project address front runner price manipulation?
Sure. So initially, as with all other projects, we did face issues with front runners just because of the liquidity in our pool. They could just move the price, really rapidly, and screw everyone that invested in the DePo. But now, because we have that level of liquidity, we haven't really been seeing a lot of issues with front running bots. So, and that comes with any project. You have a small pool like that, it's very easy to manipulate. People want to make money. It's just that once that project gets to a certain level of liquidity, it makes it like almost impossible. Otherwise, like the bot would have to have millions of dollars to be able to move it like that. Yeah.
Okay. Rafiz, does DePo plan to enter into the gambling coin market as well?
Gambling in which field? Are we talking sports betting? Are we talking...
Well, theoretically, right, crypto would be something that with a decentralized gambling platform, you could bet on anything. You could play slots, you could play poker, you could do sports, anything.
True. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say in the future that could definitely be something that we potentially explore. Yeah.
All right. Hambo asks, why would you want to let someone copy your arbitrage trades if the number of opportunities to make money is finite?
So the way we're going to change that is not only are we uniting the entire crypto market by the utility of our platform, but we're uniting the order books as well. And I don't just want to hoard that for myself. So I could have like a fat whale account and just click one-click arbitrage every day and turn the fees off. But that's not, we want to provide utility to people. We want to change people's lives. So the way we combat that to ensure that there isn't whales that will take these opportunities and that they don't just dissipate instantaneously is we'll have a random selection of arbitrage opportunities that filter in and out at random times. So you can have a bot tracking it. And then these arbitrage opportunities are only going to have a select amount of people that can invest into it, or a select amount of capital that you can invest into it. And then, of course, we'll have different opportunities presented to different people. So let's say there's a whale with 20 million in DePo. They're going to arbitrage across sexes most of the time because the depth of order volume, and because they're able to extrapolate out of that maybe 0.0015% price discrepancy. But then there might be some guy from like Bangladesh or something, and he has a couple $100. We present another opportunity to him on maybe the DEX side of things, where he could take advantage of a flash loan and make money that way. But ultimately, with this whole arbitrage thing, it's just to unite the market more, and it's to provide all users of our platform with an ability to literally make money with just one click of a button. And the whole back end system of it is designed so whales can't take advantage of it, so bots can't take advantage of it, and yeah, to just provide opportunity for people.
Okay. Artha X has a question about DePo governance. Is DePo going to create voting polls for holders to let holders decide questions about the future of DePo, same as many other projects have it?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, and with that, do you say it was Martha?
Artha X was the
Okay.
user's name.
Yeah, with that X, one of the examples with that is right now I'm planning out a launch pad. It'll be an automated launch pad to where there'll be a pool out of the treasury for up and coming projects, and they'll be presented within that page along with all the audits and relevant information. And then people like you that have governance capabilities within our ecosystem, they'll be able to vote towards specific projects like that. And then once that project's money is fundraised, the funds will be automatically airdropped back to you. So yeah.
Okay. Sergeant 13 Bravo, you mentioned Scrum Team. What are the current release cycles and how many are being worked on? What is the biggest item DePo is looking forward to checking off of their Scrum list?
So the current cycles, a lot of the time we're looking at 2 weeks, just because of our rapid turnaround, the team we've been able to build. Uh, and then I'd say the number one thing that we're looking at checking off our list is our dashboard, which is essentially a wallet, bridge, swap, centralized exchange, uh, 20 different, all the different blockchains and everything wrapped into one. Um, in which you'll be able to access it from a Chrome extension and from our website. And we're going to be able to cut out a lot of the fees in the market. I'm just really excited about that. There's literally so many different things about it I could talk about that's really exciting. So
All right, Sammy asks, if you're not raising money, how is DePo going to survive this harsh market conditions?
for sure. So we did raise money back last year when we launched. We actually launched like late September, so our growth has been insane. But with that money that we raised, we still haven't gone through all the raised money. And then, of course, there's a small part of the treasury which is being utilized in a passive sell down strategy to keep the project alive through this market. And right now, we have the capability to, let's say something were to happen, really big, we have the capability to develop at the same pace we are now for the next year at minimum. So yeah, we have a treasury. We have the ability to get the full product out regardless of the market.
Okay, we have a summary question from Luca SP. Can you describe DePo in 5 words?
DePo in 5 words.
Hard, that's hard.
Um, it's the future of DeFi.
Nice. All right, Praisen asks, are there...
I think that's fine.
That's cool. Are there DePo apps available already? If so, can you share a download link with us?
Yeah, so I can't share a download link with you guys, but just go to depo.io and you can access our swap already, which it has more variability than 1inch and Uniswap, and it's cheaper, and it's available on 3 different chains. So check that out. And then we also have sexes available that you can hook into the system.
Artha X is back. They ask, will you offer any premium subscriptions, I think is what they mean, to your D app or mobile app that would provide additional functional benefits?
So we are actually looking into that because we're releasing so much. We were thinking, I mean, I don't know any other coin that will pay you like ours does, that will be backed like ours. But not only that, we are thinking of options for a certain like tier list. So based on how many tokens you hold, we can have like certain like early access type stuff.
Okay. My man, Hustle. Is there any plan to integrate hardware wallet support? So for things like Ledger.
Yeah, we actually already have that. So Ledger and Trezor, you can already hook into DePo using that.
Very cool. Wolf MVP, what is the criteria for selecting DePo interns? Can people with genuine interest in the project possibly be groomed into interns, or are you guys restricting it to your OGs for now?
No, anyone that's passionate about crypto, that knows a little bit about trading, a little bit about marketing, or just has a burning desire within them to build something that's going to change the world, just come as you are and yeah, join our intern program.
Cool. Dope asks, where does the capital for DePo's rewards come from? How is it sustainable?
So currently the capital comes from the treasury that we have. So we have that farming contract, and that's how we've been paying out our rewards, which of course isn't extremely sustainable in the long term. So that's just like a cherry on top of the pie to get users hooked into learning how to stake on our platform, and that will last up until we really have like our bonds and our proprietary DEX coming out, which will offer the insane APY and payouts in other things like USDC, USDT, other projects, tokens, stuff like that.
Okay. Hustle is back. He asks, any plans to include some smart trading tools in the trading terminals, such as trailing stop, buy, take profit,
Oh yeah.
DCA grid buys, algorithmic based trading, etc.?
Yeah, so we're gonna have all of that. You're gonna have your whole TradingView suite of tools available to integrate into DePo. And then past that, I mean, I'm talking delta footprint mapping, heat maps across the whole market, Glassnode, on-chain analytics. Um, all that's
Ooh.
going to be built directly into DePo. And it's going to be built custom for each section of DePo. So you're going to have a news feed for the NFT marketplace. You're going to have a news feed for the DEX side of things. You're going to have a news feed for the SEC side of things. And they'll all be custom per that section of the market. And that will be on the same page as the arbitrage opportunities as well. So
Wow, that's awesome. I just have to say that's awesome. Okay.
okay, yeah.
Uh, and it looks like we're getting near the end here. Final question
All right.
from Luca SP. Are there similar projects that will be offering similar things, or I guess put differently, competitors that you all feel could potentially be real thorns in your side?
Sure. So my philosophy, I don't focus on competitors at all. I just focus on the user. I just focus on the people that we're trying to help, that we're trying to build a foundation and utility for. Competitors will come, they'll copy things, they'll try to have a little pump and dump scheme on the side to take our users away from us. But at the end of the day, um, I'm focused on you. I'm focused on everyone that holds our token, everyone that uses our platform, and everyone across the world that can benefit from DePo.
Awesome. That's excellent. All right. Well, since we're basically reaching the end of the show, I want to thank you very much for sticking around for overtime and letting us ask a
Yeah.
lot of these questions. We have one final question from Luca SP. I'll go ahead and squeeze this in because it's a good
All
one.
right.
Won't you, I think you as in Team Depot, get in trouble with, quote, federal stuff, end quote, if you don't enable KYC? I think the question is referring to the propensity for regulatory bodies like the SEC and the Attorney General of New York to target specific crypto platforms.
So we're not founded in the U.S. I'm based in the U.S., but and some of our other team members are, but we're not actually incorporated there. And then as far as that goes, we're keeping things in the smart contract. We're not actually like IPOing or anything like that. Um, but I mentioned that VPN support to where we'll have that dead switch and it will always know to connect to the VPN first in that specific area that you have it set to. I'm not I'm not encouraging you guys by any means to use a VPN at all to sidestep regulatory authorities. Um, but it's built into the platform, guys. Um, so so yeah, I don't think we're gonna face issues with that at least over the next year. But at that point, we'd be at like $5-10, and it'd be a different story. And anyways,
Awesome. All right. Well, with that, we are going to go ahead and wrap up. And before I send you off back to go grind away at DePo, I do have to ask for your
yeah,
help with one final thing. And
okay,
Mr. Ashley is, of course, also welcome to chime in on this. But if you guys could assist me in picking your favorite questions from the community.
sure,
Because these
sure.
guys ask killer questions every time we do this, and we incentivize that by giving out rewards for the most killer questions. And the teams don't always have time to help me pick them, but I always offer the option.
hmm Well, what are you thinking, Nick? I think Luca had a couple good ones for sure.
If you
All
want,
right,
it'll help you guys. Mr. Ashley, thank you for joining us.
I'm here. Wow, I have to say, I'm honestly super impressed by the caliber of the questions that have been asked. I don't think that I've ever seen an AMA quite like this one. I've organized a
Oh
few
yeah,
for
definitely
for
not.
DePo, and yeah, honestly blown away. I could tell just by looking through the community early on that it was going to be great, but honestly not to this extent. And I think it's a really good thing. It shows not only um, the genuine interest from everyone here, but it's good for us as well because you go on these AMAs and tend to get the same questions over and over again, and it's not very
Mhm.
engaged. It doesn't really lead to us thinking a whole lot about what we're doing. So it's good to have those challenges, those critical questions, and it also highlights perhaps areas where our communication can be improved. Right, like if someone's going into our website for the first time, what do we want to make clear? What is perhaps emphasizing the wrong things, or we can improve in that area. So it's honestly been super beneficial. And I'm just been scrolling back to try and find the start of this thread, and it's taken me a long time.
Oh yes, if you
Um,
guys want some help, there's a little pins area at the top of your discords. If you're on mobile, you'll have to pan to
oh
the
yeah,
right to see it, but it's a little pinned messages. And if you scroll through those are the primary ones I was pulling from. So anyone
Sure.
on that list is eligible to be picked.
all right. Give me a couple seconds. I'm just going through now. Um,
I don't know. I really like the ones around the trade station and then being able to use, and then the one where he was talking about, I think it was bringing on like algorithms and different level tools, and then that's when I segued into Trading View and like our widget library.
That would be Hustle. That's a Hustle winner.
Like, yeah.
That was a great question, and Hustle's one of our better traders. So, yep, Luca's winner number one. Hustle would be winner number two. We've got three more.
Great. And
all right.
yeah, super funny. I actually pulled those off the top of my head because I think I'm locked out of these questions. I don't see them anywhere.
Oh,
Um,
it's a little pinned messages. There's a push pin at the top if you're on PC. If you're looking at the chat, if you click that pinned messages push pin, it will show you the list of users and their questions. Artha just supplied a key helpful graphic with an arrow to give you guys an idea of where to look for this at the top of your screen.
I've got it open now. I'm scrolling through. I was going to say before I saw it mentioned in the chat, but there were a couple of great questions from Wolf MVP. The one about the nuances of the revenue distribution was great. I think about the currency and the burn.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're not
That's one of
burning,
them,
but
for sure.
that's how a lot of projects do it.
Yes, it
and
is.
I think that's a key point of differentiation. The fact that revenue will be shared out in a stable coin, and it kind of operates outside of the DePo token ecosystem. So that's probably worth a reward, I would say.
Okay. Yep. So that's winner number 3, Wolf MVP. We got 2 more.
All right, Nick, George, you guys want to find the last 2? I loved all of them. I'm like,
it's hard, guys. Welcome to my world. I do this every time. Me and the boys have to pick it if the team doesn't help us, and that gets hard. It gets difficult. But it happens every time because the community rocks. We love these guys.
yeah. No, this is fire. I'm just like checking out. I slid by this little announcement, the post for our AMA announcement, and it is insane how much you got going on right here.
Yes, it is. Not kidding.
Let me add to it.
There were a couple of good questions from Blur, I thought. Was there one on talking about browser add-ons, and one other about regulatory pushbacks? So that's probably worth an award, I'd say.
Okay.
I'd say both of those are worth awards.
So Blur, you would be our winner number 4 for killer questions. We can't award you more than once. Sorry for everyone. You if you ask multiple good questions, then you win once. We apologize. There's only so much crypto to go around.
Hey, but if you hop into our DePo Discord, there is a wild airdrop every now and then, and we do reward questions there. So I know a couple of you guys had like 20 for me.
Well, that means there is just one more winner to pick, my guys. Who shall be our final winner?
All right. Okay. Stand by.
Sorry, guys. What about I don't know whether you've done this one. I might have missed it. Dope asked a question about the rewards in stables.
I think that's a great question.
You guys thought that was a good one? All right. Well,
that's our 5th, yeah.
Yep, that's our 5th winner then. All right, Mr. Dope, you were the winner, number 5, according to Team DePo. Excellent. And with that...
Dope, if you just DM me, Dope, we'll share that reward. Thanks very much. Cheers.
Okay.
Excellent. Awesome. Mr. Fox, thank you for popping in and joining us as well. Mr. Ashley, Mr. Dunham, you guys have been fantastic guests. We really appreciate you all joining us for this.
Yeah. Thank you. And if I could just open up an invite to anyone in this community that wants to be a part of DePo, just join our Discord, join our Telegram, and I will keep my head in this chat for any questions afterwards. But thanks for having me, Nexus. This is honestly the best AMA I've been a part of thus far. So
absolutely, I do work very hard along with me and the gang to make sure that this is as informative and helpful to everyone as possible, not just us as crypto traders, but also to projects hoping to get the word out. I always get this stream uploaded to YouTube same day. As soon as I can, I'll get that link out to everybody.
Heck yeah, brother, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. As always, everyone, this has been a presentation from the Wolves of Alt Street. Everything that you have heard in the following live stream has not to be construed as financial advice and represents only the opinions of everyone speaking, asking questions, and not necessarily the opinions of the entirety of Team Wolves of Alt Street, the community of the Wolves of Alt Street, or the team and community of Team DePo.
Sounds great. We are DeFi. We are DePo. Thank you, guys.